Hey guys, have you ever cut felt with your Cricut Joy or your Explorer Air 2? Today I'm going to share with you tips and tricks on doing just that. So the other day I was on the phone with Brandy and I wanted to design some cute projects for either a banner or a Halloween tree. And I had some black felt laying around and I thought, well, maybe I can make some felt ornaments using iron-on. I've never done iron-on felt before, so I thought I would try it. And it literally took the time for our conversation for me to cut out and iron on this cute pumpkin that we're going to make today. So I plan on making a lot more items, and I think you guys would have a lot of fun doing this. There's so many more options, just like Christmas ornaments, and you could make felt boards and things like that if you're a teacher, preschool teacher, a Sunday school teacher, like anything like that. You could use felt for a felt board. If this like a flannel board, this would be super cute. So I ended up picking out this pumpkin, and if you're an Access member, it's free. It's hashtag M3DAB729D, and I have a clip of that at the end here that you guys can write it down. So the first thing we're going to do obviously is size it. I decided to go with leaving the aspect ratio on and just making the width 3.25, so 3 1/4. And then I'm going to show you all the pieces. So off to the side here, you see how all the stuff in blue is like a connection, like they're connected, they're grouped together basically. And I want to ungroup them and put them in different groups. So what you have to do is click on the pumpkin, go up to ungroup up here at the top, and click that. Now I want to group just the base of the pumpkin together. So I'm going to highlight only the base of the pumpkin and click weld. You can attach here, but you guys know I use weld for a lot of designs that I get off of Access. So now I want the top two pieces, the leaf and the stem, I want to weld those as well. And now I can change colors. So I decide to go with like a dark green. It's a little bit harder to see, but I do the dark green, and then I do the base of the pumpkin orange. So now that we have our colors changed, now I want to put an offset. Actually, first I want to group them together. I'm sorry. So I want to go up here to group it together, and then I want to click offset up here at the top. So basically what an offset does for this project too is going to put a background to my pumpkin. I like the rounded off corners. You do have options, and you can make the offset further away or closer to the actual image. And I like mine pretty close. I may do it a little bit further away next time because this one was really super close, but it turns out really cute anyways. So here's the outline, and you're going to see the black through the orange, which is going to ends up looking really, really pretty. And this is the example of the one that I already made. And so that was just me showing you, like, it's going to have the black in the background. And now we just have to get ready to cut it. So whenever I started this, I was like a little leery of, okay, cutting felt with my Joy, first of all, and would it work? There may be a new setting. There may be a setting on the Joy that I just couldn't find. I couldn't find an actual felt cutting, like it wasn't in fabric or anything like that. So I ended up using 100-pound cardstock. And oh, here I just offset. I didn't group my offset, so don't forget to do that. Group your offset by highlighting everything, click group, and then I think I finished the sizing of it all at 3 1/4. So I end up have to use my phone whenever I use my Joy because my laptop doesn't like it. My other computer, it works perfectly fine, but my laptop doesn't connect with my Joy well. So I will be saving this project now that it's all together and ready to go, and I'll be using my phone. So if you only use a phone to design, I am going to be doing some videos on that as well, because I've had some questions on that, like how do you use an iPhone, how do you use an Android with it, like all the different questions. And I have both Android and Apple phones. So I'm trying to come up with an easy way to make videos that you guys can see it clearly, so I can help you with maybe a step-by-step So I am working on that. But for today, I will just save the project to my design space. I'll close everything out and then I'll go back on my phone and I'll open it up. So just make sure you save it at this point. So here I don't know what I was doing here. It was not right. So I think I just end up like closing it out because all the pieces are together and ready and I'm just rambling at this point. So the next thing I want to do is prepare my mat. So I was really worried about my mat being ruined. I only have one mat now for my Cricut Joy, and it's my paper mat. It's like the light grip, and I didn't want to get felt all over it. So I thought about what would be the easiest way, and it was to line it with transfer tape. So I saw this somewhere. Somebody did this with some other thing. I honestly don't know who it is. I would give them credit if I knew who it was. I don't know who it is. But I remember them doing fabric and they put, or not fabric, they were doing glitter paper and they didn't want to get glitter on their mat. And they used transfer tape. They laid it down on top of the mat, non-sticky side down, and then they stuck their glitter paper, which was genius, onto the transfer tape. So I thought, I wonder if that would work with felt. I wasn't sure if it would hold well because felt's more of a fabric than glitter paper, but guys, it worked out perfectly. So I suggest if you do any sort of felt that you lay a piece of transfer tape down with the backing to the sticky part of your mat, and then you just stick the felt to the sticky part of your transfer tape. So like I said, this worked out perfectly. So I'm just cutting it down here to fit. I don't know if I should do like a whole like video on what I've been doing with my Cricut Joy and how much I use it all the time. You guys know that if you're a regular, but I've been like experimenting with some things and I've been learning a lot about the Joy. I think the Joy is a great machine to have if it's the only one you have, you can do a ton with it. But if you already have a Cricut, but you can afford the Joy, like to get another one, it's so worth it. Like I love having mine out. I love having it right at my desk. I use it literally every day. Every day. It's amazing. Anyways, I'll move on from there. But now I'm just going to peel the cover sheet off. And then that's what we're going to stick our felt to. And I highly, highly recommend this because there was a lot of black fuzzy stuff left on this piece of transfer tape when I pull it up. So it stuck pretty well. I was happy with that. And now I'm just going to put my piece of felt on here. So the felt I got at Hobby Lobby, it was 33 cents for an 8.5 by 12, I believe was the size that I got. And then I just cut a piece down to fit onto my Joy mat. I think I trimmed that extra piece off. And of course, you guys know I love my little brayer, and I brought that out and I made sure it had a good stick down onto the transfer tape because at this point I still wasn't sure if it was going to work or not. It stuck really well, so I was hoping that it would work, but I really wanted to brayer it down. Is that a word? Brayer it down and see if this would work out for me, which, spoiler, you already know it did. So now I'm just going to set up my Cricut Joy, pull everything up on my phone, and I bought myself a new mixer. Did you see that, guys, on Amazon? I needed a new one. Anywho, so I'm just going to bring my Joy up onto my table because it sits at my desk, but it's like off to the right-hand side on like a lower part of a desk. Does that make sense? But it's like right there. And now I'm just going to use my phone to pull up the design and start cutting. Again, whenever I cut this felt, I couldn't find a setting that looked or seemed like it would be the right setting for me. So I ended up using the 100-pound cardstock because I knew that that was a good deep cut. And it cuts it like 2 or 3 times. So I thought, okay, if this is going to work, I feel that that will be what does the job, and it did it perfectly. Now, if you use your Explore Air 2 or maybe the 3 or the Maker, whatever, there might be a setting for felt. I didn't really look into that. It was just I was so excited that this worked that I was like, oh my gosh, I could use my Joy for all of these things. I was so excited. And you can make more than one at a time, obviously. Like, you can make as many that fit onto that mat. So you could probably make 3 at a time on your Joy, which would be more than enough, I think, at a time, like, to save time. So it's just cutting all the way through it, and now I can unload it. And I'm just like, kind of like, okay, it stayed on there, but did it cut it? And it did. It cut it. Now, there are some like hairs that I like pull. You know how when you cut felt, like it has like little hairs that stick out, and maybe like it's still attached a tiny bit, but the cut is definitely there. That's kind of how this was. It didn't miss any cuts. It just had that string of like fuzz that was hanging off of it that I wanted to trim off. So I would just pull the cut away from itself and then trim in between there, so I wasn't cutting the actual design itself. I was just cutting the in-betweens out. So I'm just using my fabric scissors for that. If you guys don't have these Cricut fabric scissors, they're pretty amazing. I do really like these ones. There is like a pair that I got at the Fisker ones I got years ago at Joann's, or Joanne, whatever it's called. And those were pretty amazing, but somebody in my household borrowed them, took them somewhere. I'm sure someday I will find them like in a cabinet or in a drawer, but I have not found them since. It's been quite a while. So my Fisker scissors, they disappeared. But these Cricut ones came with a kit that I purchased for my sewing machine, and they're pretty amazing. Now, if you look here, there is a ton of black fuzz all over that piece. And I'm so glad that that wasn't left on my mat, because I would have had to clean that, let it dry, and then do the rest of my cutting. Here, I could just jump straight into it. So you guys know, or maybe you don't know, I keep all of my leftovers in scrapbook pages, and I just tuck them down by color. So I just needed a piece of iron-on HTV in orange and green, and then I just put them both on the same mat. And I'm just getting ready to cut them. So I had to change the settings, and now I think I had some trouble connecting. My phone was almost dead, so it wasn't being very nice to me. Like when my stuff's dead, like I have trouble connecting to anything. So I end up getting it connected by plugging my phone in, and then we get ready to go. So I don't know if you guys have done this before, but whenever you want to, if you have different color mats on the screen and you want to cut all on one mat, you can just click on the image, tap the 3 little dots at the top of left of the image, and you can switch it to a different mat. And then you just layer it and know where you put your pieces, and then it'll cut more than one color out for you. If you need a video on that, let me know. I will surely do that for you. So like I said, I kept doing something that was completely wrong, but now I got it straight, but it was all me. I like to tell people that because I don't want them to think it's the machine. Chances are, if I'm doing something, it's me. It's not the machine. But if the machine ever does do something weird, I'll definitely let you guys know. So it's something that you guys could look out for, or if I find a way to fix it. So that cut super quick, and now I'm just going to move the Joy out of the way, and we're going to weed. So I did have the question, which I'm doing a Q&A that I had a lot of questions asked me in different forums that I'm involved in. And so I want to put together a question and answer. I have written down a lot of them. Some of them are the same, like people asking the same questions, which is fine too. I'm going to be doing that video next week. So if you have any questions, definitely ask like before the second week of September, because that's when I'm going to be posting the video and answering all the questions. I got some really good questions. I was like pretty pleased with it. You guys know what you're doing with crafting. So I hope that I can help with I hope I can give you guys good answers is basically what I'm saying. I did pretty much have I had so many that I may have to put it in 2 videos because I'm also going to show you guys how to fix the problems that you're asking me about. And I just want to make sure they're thorough. So it may have to be in 2 parts, but if you ask me a question before this or before the second week of September, so I would say this video goes up on the 3rd, I believe. So as long as you get the question to me by the 4th in the evening, it should be up in the video, the answer. Otherwise, I'll just save it for the next video that I do for questions. Okay, so now I'm just layering the vinyl on. I just used my mini easy press and I have it on the 2nd setting, and I just cover all my pieces to keep them safe. And I'm just pressing for like 15-20 seconds tops, and I'm holding it down. You shouldn't probably do this the way I did it. You should probably have it on an ironing mat. But it works for me. There is texture to the pumpkin. It's super cute. And here I'm just cutting off some stray hairs that were kind of flying around. But I love how this turned out. It just made me think of all the possibilities of things that I can make and do. Think about printable vinyl. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but there's a printable, direct to vinyl, printable vinyl stuff. I have an order in for it. I can't wait to get it and share it with you guys. Definitely something that could be a game changer to making ornaments. And this is why whenever I started with the felt stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, we can make personalized ornaments with people's pictures on it, animals' pictures on it. It's going to be pretty awesome. And if you guys have not tried it, actually, I shouldn't say direct to vinyl because I've already had a ton of that stuff, and I may just use that instead of using the direct to vinyl, because I think it's just kind of another name for the printable vinyl that you can iron on. So if I have time, I will try to make one of those for you guys as well, because how cute would that be, making a project with a picture on it for a felt ornament. All right, so now I'm just going to put the backing on, and all you have to do is put a like dab of hot glue on the back. I'm just waiting for mine to get ready, and it's hot now, so we can do it. So just put a big daub of hot glue on the back of it, and you might, I would center it up if you can, do your best to center it, and then wear your little mitts for your fingers so that you don't burn them. And then you just press down, and it's that simple. So once you have it completely pressed down, it'll dry really quick because the felt and the ribbon, just they absorb everything. So now that that's done, we're going to do the second one. And you can see I used different greens. I wasn't sure which one I would like best, but I ended up liking both of them. So I think I'm just going to do like mix match random ones. So now I'm doing the same thing for this one. And these little mitts actually work. Brandy, I've had them for how long? And Brandy tells me to use them all the time, and I never do. But I did this time, and they did work really well. Mainly, I did it for my manicure. I didn't want to ruin my nails. But there you go. They ended up turning out so cute. And like I said, imagine what all you can make with these. That's what we're going to be doing. If you're local to us, we were thinking about doing a project with everybody, just putting together some little packets and making different ornaments for Christmas. How fun would that be? And here again is the address you need to type into your search engine or to the search to find this particular pumpkin. So here's how they turned out. I hope you all are having a great day. Hope you're enjoying the 13 weeks of Halloween. I know I am, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.